Good evening, this is Cab, here to drive you crazy. And this video is actually going to be a little bit different from any other video that I've made. This is actually going to be a reaction to um, another YouTuber, a vlogger, who I've been kind of catching up with my other family, having shared most of the things that he has done, and made me feel, more inspired to want to, follow along with this guy. His name is the Hungry Syrian Wanderer, and he is basically just a guy who is currently living in the Philippines, has been here for a couple of years, and is always kind and always generous to the Filipino people. I've seen a lot of the videos that he's done, which is basically just him going out to people without ever having a true care or a true worry about doing anything more than joking around with them, making them feel comfortable and cared for. He does speak the language here, as well as a decent amount of English to, balance out for the people who want to watch his videos, plus to make sure that the people who he's communicating with is more comfortable as well. And even though it may be coming off in a joking matter, never is he ever actually trying to, joke with the person to make them feel worse, insignificant, anything of that sort of matter. He is always doing everything to show a comfort, to show that, he's a very genuine guy. And even though his jokes may be as simple as, oh, sorry, I only have 50 pesos to afford whatever is available, what he does in a lot of his videos is go out of his way to help people by giving them a great deal of money that they would have never had expected them to have received in that particular, day, time period, whatever the situation may be. I've watched few of the videos again. I haven't been completely following him, but I definitely gave him a subscription ever since hearing what this whole video is going to be about. Just to give another little bit of insight about who this guy is, I've seen him go to a guy who's selling brooms on the side of the road, who's only eating rice with a piece of chicken, and he says, if I don't make more than 2 sales of these brooms a day, I don't get to eat. He's gone out of his way to give this guy thousands of pesos just so that way he can live more comfortably for the next whatever amount of time period. And it's out of his own heart and out of his own generosity that he does that for them. I've seen other videos where he's just randomly going through, fast food driveways, and he's just saying, oh, I only have so much money to pay off, and he just says, oh, what's your favorite color, yellow or blue? And then all of a sudden, boom, gives him a 500, boom, gives him 1,000 tip. Just a tip. Accept it. I'm willing to give this to you. You made me feel good. I want to make you feel good for, joking around and being comfortable and always having such a great heart for people, more than he would ever say that he would be doing for, obviously he's vlogging it, but he's doing it for them. And this is where my topic is going to be about. In his most recent video, an hour-long video, talking about somebody who has been a part of his life for at least over a year by this point in time, who actually went out of his way to manipulate a little bit on how he went on another person's vlog to speak so terribly about him. The Hungry Siren is a person that has gone out of his way to help hundreds of Filipinos and hundreds of others. But this was one particular thing that bothered me, because this one particular guy is a 76-year-old Korean who was selling ramen on the sidewalk to try and feed himself, and was offered a lifetime opportunity to be living comfortably. Again, I was only able to really pick up a lot from what I had watched in this most recent video. Apologies for that. But it really does sound like this guy went out of his way to take way more than he was ever really wanting to get, but had no problem receiving everything. One of the very first encounterments that this particular guy had mentioned was that he had asked for over 50,000 pesos to help pay off for something, and I can't really fully remember at this moment how making this video, but this is like one of the very first initial reactions that he had with this guy, and within less than an hour's time period of meeting this stranger, was more than willing to give him 50,000 pesos. And for an equivalence to some people who may not fully understand, that's at least over 1,000 United States dollars. That is not just something you're willing to just hand to a complete stranger just to pay off for something that you don't even know what he's actually trying to pay off. But he says it was to make sure that his business could continue on. And then he goes back to him to say, oh, and this might be another time period a little bit later, but then he goes, oh, I need another 20,000. But guess what? Because the Hungry Siren is such a great guy, he went out of his way and gave him another 20,000 just to ensure that no matter what was necessary, he was going to get that help. And went as far to say he went out of his way to buy him appliances, refrigerators, went to his house to personally clean up his apartment and where he lived, all in the time period of showing how much he was attached with this guy. And all of a sudden it became a nothing, because one other vlogger decided to go and enter into this guy's life and started to make the Hungry Syrian Wanderer sound like such a terrible guy, making it sound like he wouldn't even give me 100 pesos. He wouldn't give me an apple, a banana, a bottle of water. When, of course, you can, again, I will share the link below to his channel, and I'll share the actual video itself, because it is extremely sad to know that this guy who was taking such advantage of him was a Korean. And from my bloodline, I am from a Korean immigrant who, my great grandma had brought up my family to become who it is right now. Kind, loving, caring, always honest, always willing to help, and always going out of their way to take care of things that were necessary in helping others out. But I don't want this to be on that guy, because as the Hungry Siren had said, he doesn't blame him, he blames Mr. Bobby. And as a Korean myself, I will say this: Bachi to you. Bachi to you, Mr. Bobby. You've corrupted this old man to say a person like the Hungry Siren was considered as a son. The Hungry Siren considered him as a father figure. And you wanted to corrupt that and tear that apart. And I do not approve. Please go and support the Hungry Syrian Wanderer. Show him love. Show him care, because he is that great of a guy. Thank you very much for listening to this video. Please leave a like and a comment to support me as well. And hit subscribe if you want some more content. I'm Cab, and I'm here to drive you crazy.